CoBank, the bank for cooperatives, forecasts the financial cost of carry for grain elevators will reach record highs in the next crop year for corn and soybeans. And that'll spill over to farmers, according to Jeff Adkisson, head of the Grain and Feed Association of Illinois.
Well, really, in the simplest terms, cost of carry is when you buy something and how much it costs you to hold on to that until you resell that particular item. It could be a car, it could be anything. And in our business, of course, it's corn and soybeans. Yeah, a lot of things that get involved with the cost of carry. Number one, you're borrowing money, so you're paying interest on that money is one of the main things. You have the cost of the facility. You've got the grain bin that it's stored in. That figures into the cost of carry. You've got your utilities that figure into the cost of carry because you need to keep the grain aerated and dried and things like that. So those are some of the and the personnel. You've got to have the people there. So really, it's anything associated with I've got it. Where am I going to put it? Maybe I had to borrow money, and I've got a depreciation and things like that all get factored into what is that cost of carry. And when interest rates were low, cost of carry obviously wasn't as high. Now that interest rates have gone up significantly, it has had a significant impact on the cost of carry for the grain elevators.
And the value of nearby futures compared to distant futures is also a factor.
Typically, the market is going to reward the person who's storing the grain. I buy it now, the market is higher later, so we can store it. The price goes up, and you can sell it for a higher price later. In an inverted market, it's the opposite of that. We're buying it now because the market is saying, we want that now. We don't want you to store it. And so the price it can be lower later, and so that exacerbates this whole cost of carry because you can't move everything out all at once. There's just not enough wheels on the road, wheels on the tracks to be able to get it all moved out just immediately. So we have to be able to hang on to it and meter it out as the marketplace, as the transportation system allows us to. But yeah, with that inverted market, you're obviously you're getting paid more now and less later. Now, farmers selling grain needs to be aware that we're in an inverted market and that the basis may need to change accordingly, which results in a lower price for the farmer. I mean, that's pure and simple. The basis widens, then it's going to be reducing the amount that an elevator that pays to a farmer. And one of those things that goes into the calculation of the basis, of course, is cost of carry.
And that cost of carry burden may even increase thanks to what's happening in Washington.
Yeah, there's some new developments that are happening on the Tax and Job Creation Act that passed Congress a couple of years ago, and the CARES Act. We're starting to learn that it may be influencing how adjusted taxable income is calculated for companies, and it has to do with the interest rate or the amount paid in interest and what percentage of that is actually deductible. There's still more to come on that. We're just kind of learning about that issue, but here again, it may create a situation where some of the companies here in Illinois are ending up having to pay more in taxes than what they have in the past just because of this change in the calculation. But that'll kind of be the next chapter, I think, as we uncover more. But that interest rate factor is going to be a whole lot, could be a big issue for us.
Adkisson says farmers should understand the necessity for changes and work with elevators to minimize the financial burden on both. This is Stu Ellis.